Good morning. My name is Alexandra Gonzalez. I am proud to say that I am a 13-year special education teacher, and I'm fortunate enough to live and work and send my daughter to the school that I teach at. So I guess what I want to share with you now is some specific tactics that we, the Chicago Teachers Union, under the leadership of the Caucus of Rank and File Educators, have used to fight back against the many attacks on public education, the very severe forms of privatization that have been pushed on us, and really how we've been able to mobilize our membership to be more aware, to be more active, and to really see their role as the leaders, the people who are most knowledgeable about in the schools that we teach. So I think we could say that we're all in agreement that public education is under attack worldwide, that there is, a lot of forces out there who are trying to undermine public education, trying to make it something that's, profit-driven, business model. And I think we can also agree that the solution is that the stakeholders in public education, whether it be school staff or teachers, students, parents, community members, that we don't have the voice and we don't have the authority and the decision-making that we need to have in order to steer public education in the direction that it needs to go. So how do we do that? How do we reclaim our voice and our power in matters of public education? It's easy to say, we really need to have a different kind of union. I'm talking specifically about teachers. It's, for us in Chicago, we knew that our organization had issues, had difficulties. We didn't see our leadership doing what we needed them to do to raise awareness about privatization, to fight against school closing, and to really stand up against, the cutting of resources for our students. So it's easy to say, we really want a member-led union, we want an organizing union. It's easy to say those things, but what are the specific tactics? What specifically can we do to build that type of organization and to build that leadership and to build that sentiment amongst our members that our organization is only as strong as we are active and aware? So to give you the context of what I'm going to speak about, a strategy that we borrowed from the St. Paul Teachers Federation and the Milwaukee Teachers Association called the Walk-In. I just want to give you a little context of what's kind of going on in Chicago. So in Chicago, we've been in very difficult, contentious contract fight with the Chicago Board of Education, where they're asking us to, they want to cut resources from our classrooms. They want to increase class size. They want us to take a pay cut. They want us to contribute to our pensions, more than we had previously. So there's just all these concessions that they're asking us to make, and how do you respond to that? So in our contract negotiations, I think one of the amazing things that we've done as CTU with this new core leadership is that we've actually expanded our bargaining team to over 40 rank and file members. So definitely we still have our officers, our legal team, but we also have the people who are actually on the ground doing the work, who have the real knowledge of what's going on in the classrooms. They're part of the negotiations as well. So expanding that for the membership to actually participate in contract negotiations is a huge thing. On the school level, on the building level, I feel like we've also done a good job in terms of activating our membership to be part of the contract fight. So in our buildings, the lead union person is called a delegate, but the delegate cannot be the end-all, be-all, knows everything, does everything related to union activity in your building. So another thing that we've done is we established contract action teams. So actual members in the building working together to educate about the contract, to educate about what we're fighting for in the contract, to gather proposals from our members related to the specific things the specific knowledge that we have about our workplace, the specific needs that we have. So the contract action teams is just another level of getting our membership involved in this contract fight. Specifically, kind of a task that we gave to the contract action team, and it was almost, I'd like to say, a little bit of a preparation for a potential strike, or also to help us build our alliances with parents and community members, is we asked our contract action teams and our school delegates at each building, there's a little under 600 schools in Chicago, to hold a walk-in. So maybe some of you are familiar with this strategy, but I think it's a great strategy. So definitely, you need the mass mobilization, you need the public forums where you're asking people to travel elsewhere to learn and to express their needs and their demands. But it's a very empowering thing to get a group of people in your building to organize a walk-in. Because it really gives people the opportunity and builds their leadership to connect with parents, to connect with students, to connect with community, and to have a presence in the very neighborhood that they're working and teaching, to raise the issues that are important to them. For us, the issues that we were raising is that we're in a difficult contract negotiation, that there's a desperate need for revenue in the city of Chicago and the state of Illinois, and that we are under attack. They're asking the schools to take a lot of cuts. They're really increasing class sizes. They're doing a lot of things that is detrimental to the education of our students. So, having our members at each building take on this leadership role to organize these walk-ins, it's just a very specific way to have a member-led union, to have an organizing union, and to give your members something specific to empower them to feel like their voices, their ideas are important, and also, doing that day-to-day work to make those connections with the families, with the community organizations, with the stakeholders in that school building. So one other thing that I would like to say about that is it's easy to say, we need to have, parents, we need to work with parents, and we need to work with community members. But this is a long process to really build this. It's you have to build it level by level. You can't just assume that you're going to go, hey parents, we're having this activity at the building to raise awareness, and jump on our bandwagon and participate with us. It's really where it's more successful is when there's a real long-term partnership with the community organizations and the parents. And it takes time. It's not something that happens overnight, but it's just very important to, if we really believe that we want to have our stakeholders in the schools to have more voice and more power, we do have to allow our members, our parents, our students, our community organizations to have a role and a voice in the type of organizing that we're doing. Because it's great that we have people who've stepped up and taken on leadership, but we also need to continually develop leaders within our organizations. So what I want to leave you with is we have just a brief video about the walk-ins that we did in Chicago. And like I said, this is just one of the many strategies for our contract campaign. But it's a very localized strategy, and I feel like it's a strategy that has been very successful.
Just
Just one last thing before I guess we go into the Q&A is that we did provide a lot of resources to our delegates and our contract action teams to organize the walk-ins. So we gave them a very comprehensive packet with a template flyer, very detailed instructions on, some schools are more less equipped to do these walk-ins at their school building. And what you saw in the video is that the character of the schools, the character of the communities really took on their own life depending on what community and what building the walk-in was happening. So just to give people direction, but also give them an opportunity to organize their events, it was very powerful in Chicago. Thank you.